Welcome to another episode of Maestro Speaks podcast.
The equivalent of love is forgiveness.
Mhm.
You cannot love without forgiveness.
Lumabalin ka iti young generation, anda kumamot nga mapasaran.
Naibag nga morning mo ako, Il Maestro.
Tanya deh kung nanay tayo may isa.
I-appeal mo.
Buhay na.
Apil ko man kada gitu ko Pipi ako man pilit gan si tutok na.
Di pa nag-approach mo rin?
Amo pa.
Approach?
Kita. Nang nangag ko nga ibagbagan pa lang ni Lola kiti.
You better know the substance of the law.
Bayaw mo nang ibagas ni Manong.
And who cares if people have dark skin, right?
Kaanakan iti with expiration.
You find any inspiration in this, we have done, and you have done your noble part.
El Maestro Speaks podcast. How are you? Yeah. Another episode. Talking to you while you're listening and sharing things. We learned our thoughts and opinions on the different matters here in Earth. Maybe you can put it in your universe. All right, so just to recap on what we talked about last time about the issues with Carlos Ilo. Apparently, they're just right after, and yeah, the episode is gonna come out now, right after. Now is September 15th. I talked about it there. Then here comes another video. I didn't see the video, but apparently there are some memes or pictures. They call those, by the way, pictures with text like a comic strip. In our younger days, it's like called a comic strip, but this one is a picture with the subtitles or captions of what the people are saying. Apparently, it's very common nowadays. Um, there was a picture like that of the same with of a video. I don't know where it came from. It's like a live stream of Carlos Yule's dad talking about Carlos Yule pulled his semen, something like that, of sort. Now, maybe a lot of people will be telling me that, oh, so are you still, maybe will be asking me that, am I still wishing that they're going to um have to patch things up? And do you still stand on your opinion that Carlos Yulo should respect his parents? And my answer to both questions is yes. Like I said, okay. First and foremost, it's an old age wisdom, okay, that we have to follow for good things to come to us. And take note that Carlos Yulo will also be a parent someday. And um, you know, the belief of the generation of his children will be changed soon. The atmosphere where his children will be living will be changed. The the views on things will be changed. But then again, if you believed on this old age wisdom and you have taught this to your kids, then for sure, oh, respect for you as a parent will be there when you have your own kids. So regardless of what the parents said, like I said, if you talked about if they come together and talked about it, then they try to solve the problem. Then without listening to the noise of the social media, of the internet, then all things will be good for sure. And I'm hoping that they'll come to that. They'll come to that point where they can talk about their problems. They can share. They can like tell about what they felt about what each what what was said by who, and they can talk about it, and then after that, okay, try to patch things up because family is family. Okay, when all else is gone, your family will always be there for you. All right, and I don't know, like I said, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. What's the use of the word forgiveness? We're not going to use it, right? So talk about it. Okay? Share your frustrations, why you're hurt with what was said, and then tell it to them. Tell how you felt. Then after that, try to forget, and forgive like that, right? Okay. So this is just connected to what we want to talk to you about today of pain. Okay. So because mhm. I'm sorry to those who are listening again with headset and I'm drinking coffee without turning off the mic. Okay, it's a habit. I do when I record podcasts, I record them uh I record them at night, usually 12 o'clock. Right now I'm recording this 12:23 and oh talking alone makes you drowsy. I don't know, but it makes me drowsy sometimes. um and I have to drink. I have to have my coffee with me. Anyway, so yeah, let's forget about that. And again, I apologize for the sipping sound of coffee. Anyway, so I want to talk to you about pain today. Um, Usually in this generations, I don't know what you call the generations now. Generation? What do you call the generations now, by the way? Generation Z? Because I guess my generations are called millennials. Um, Millennials, though millennials in the Philippines, if you're from a third world country, is like they grew up like a generation late. So whatever millennials experienced in the United States or the first world country, we didn't experience that. Kind of like we experienced what the um the past generation have experienced when we were growing up, even music and yeah, and likes and fads sometimes. Okay, so the generations now, going back to generations now, or yes, the young people now, um, can easily label pain as trauma, uh, even simple pains, right? They can just say, "Oh my God, I was traumatized with that thing." Like using the word lightly, making us wonder uh, if they've experienced enough pain for their growth, you know, because I do believe that pain is part of growing. So take this as an example. Um, I'll use fighters. I'll use fighters as an example because I'm an avid uh, fight sports fan, and I know about them more than other prominent people in the world. So anyway, let's use Bas Rutten as an example. An old guy, not a young fighter, is a retired. He was a UFC heavyweight champion, king of pancreas 3 times, and an MMA commentator, a doctor. So he became very good at fighting because he was often bullied, and that's Spain, right? So he was being bullied because he has eczema, according to him, and he was being bullied. So he has to find a way for that bullying to stop. So bullying is the pain there. Now, if let's say that situation didn't happen, then I don't know. Maybe Basrutin is not a fighter today because the the reason why he became a fighter is that he wants to find a way to stop the pain of being bullied when he was young. So he started asking, begging for his parents to have karate lessons, and the parents obliged, and the rest is history. Now you have your um three times king of pancras and a heavyweight champion of UFC. So, uh, a pain is again a part of growing that if we take it out of the equation, I don't know, it wouldn't lead to something desirable. In my opinion, it wouldn't lead to something that is desirable, you know. Um, Again, this is one of those ancient wisdom that I want to share. Okay. Now, why did I say that this is an ancient wisdom? Because we have this philosophy of yin yang in Chinese, and they had it to a T. The balance of everything. It does not mean that because it's bad that we have to take it out, because that's not how the world works, right? In the philosophy of yin yang, we have the balance of everything. And in our life, in as a part of growing, we have to have that pain, a little bit, a balance of pain and comfort for us to grow, right? Um, let's just put it in the context of a classroom, or you're having a hard time studying math, but then after you overcame it, okay, and you had it, of course it's hard for you, but then you found out, let's say for example, that if you memorize the formula, you can easily solve the problem. So the pain or the hardship or the difficulty, now that's not a very, very good example. The difficulties that you will encounter will help you find solutions. That's, wh- that's what difficulties and pain brings to us. So it's not that all negative. I want to share this one to you because, like what I said a while ago, what I noticed is that we are we're trying to make everything easy for this generation. And like I said, if we take one of the factors that will help an individual grow, and I wouldn't I wouldn't know if that individual in the future will become very, very effective in everything that he does, or will live up to his potential. So that's how important pain is. Like, but then maybe some people will ask again, okay, so you a boomer, okay, or agrees with boomer philosophy, would like us to suffer, something like that, would like us to be abused. No, it's not that. Then again, it is the balance of things. It's like what I said a while ago. As I observed, we are like trying to baby proof, if I think that's the right term. We're trying to baby proof the world for this next generation, which is not the case. Life is naturally cruel, it's not unfair. And the next generation should be ready to face life, face that reality that life is unfair, is difficult. Now, if we baby proof the world for them, what will happen if we're gone? You know? So I think we have to provide them the balance of, you know, give them or provide to them a situation where they can experience a little bit of pain, of frustrations, and let them decide how they're going to solve those things. Okay. Now, I'm not so sure with what's happening now because when, especially in the first world country, I'm sorry if you're an American listening to this, and yeah, just correct me if I'm wrong here, that when children there in your country experiences um, difficulties, you immediately bring them to psychologists. Am I right? Yeah. Or to a counselor, psychologist. I don't know the right term. I think a counselor is the proper term, but you know, you bring them to a counselor. How about just let them deal with the pain and deal with the frustrations. Uh, just guide them, maybe, along the way, but then let them decide on their own. What should they do to face those problems or those difficulties or those pains? Instead of taking them to this counselor. Maybe that's one part of one job of the counselor, maybe to guide them like that. But then ah, there are some like I heard that gives medication to people who are frustrated. I don't know how that medication works, but like I said, pain is a part of life, and people should be trained to face those painful situations, those frustrations, those troubles. Okay? Comfort stops the growth. Okay? Too much of it. Well, it's in human nature, right? That when we're comfortable, we really want to stay. When we're comfortable in one place, we really want to stay there. We're comfortable in our working place, we really want to stay there. We don't want to go to other places. It only shows that how true the sentence is that comforts really stunts our growth. It stops our development. That's why I think the well balanced balance of life, there should be balance. Like again, my answer to this, so you want us to be abused, something like that? No. Okay. There should be a balance of things. Everything in moderation, right? So we should let people experience frustrations, of course, in moderation. Okay. Not not beyond, I mean, not to the uh, to the extent that they're abused, but in moderation. Okay. Experience pain because of frustrations, because of difficulties and things that they're facing. Okay. Let them experience teasing. Okay. Because kids nowadays, when they get teased, they will define it as bullying. Um, Even though it happens, I define bullying as something that happened every day. Like they do that to you every day to the point that it's already an abuse. Okay. But a little teasing, a little banter, a change of nasty words here and there, okay, here and there, won't hurt someone, right? So, um, for the children, just let them um, share their feelings, you know, and then guide them on how they will react on those ones. Again, pain teaches us things. Okay, pain will change the direction. I will lead you to something that is better. Like what we always say, what what won't kill you will make you stronger. Another story that I would share to you about this pain is I had a podcast with attorney and the former mayor of Baguio, mm, Mauricio Dumogan. And then he shared his experience during the GS from, and this is the worst, I would say. Okay. And I cannot imagine if I don't, I cannot imagine myself being the one who experiences one. If I was the one in this situation, I wouldn't know. Maybe I would not show myself for like a month in that school. So the story is that during the GS from, they have you have to wear the suit, right? And he doesn't have that kind of luxury at their house, so he had to borrow some suit from his neighbors. And fortunately, the size is too big for him. So, but still, he have to wear it because he doesn't have any. He got no choice. He has to wear it. Now, when he wore it, he he looks more funny than handsome. Let's just put it that way, because the clothes are oversized. Now, her partner during the march of their GS from when are going to when they're about to start the program, they get to march going inside the auditorium, I guess, and they are partnered. I think it's randomly partnered with ladies. So the lady was partnered to her. This was a very famous story here in the Cordilleras because um, Mauricio Dumogan, attorney Mauricio always shares it with them. Okay, the lady that was partnered with her didn't hold her hand because they're supposed to hold each other's hand while walking in the aisle, right? So what the girl did is just took the like pinch the clothes of attorney Dumogan like that and walked with him. It's like she doesn't want to hold uh, attorney De Morgan because I don't know, maybe because of the oversized clothes that she really looks funny rather than handsome, and that really embarrassed attorney De Morgan a lot, right? Now, if you take it to today's context, if you take it into today's time, and you do and that happened to a child in today's generation, they would say they were traumatized and they will be thinking of you know doing doing the S because that's very pretty common now, or hurting themselves because of embarrassment. Now, what did Attorney Mauricio Dumungan do? Of course, during that time when that situation happened, he was so embarrassed that he ran outside the auditorium and then he didn't finish the program. But then he had a reflection to himself that, oh no, if I look at myself in the mirror, maybe I'm not that handsome. So maybe have, I can be better in other aspects. So what I can do is to study well and do something to change myself. That's what he did. So he studied well, graduated high school, just because of that situation, graduated high school with honors, and then went to Baguio City, finished his college, took up law, and became a lawyer just because of that situation. Now imagine. That's why, but listening to that story, the first time I listened to that story, I was saying, "Oh my goodness, whoever it is that girl, she should be ashamed of herself." I was thinking like that. Now I was. imagining that maybe that girl would be very, very embarrassed meeting Mayor De Morgan from time to time during the high school reunions. But then, on the other side, if the girl did not do that, if the girl did not do that, I wouldn't know. Okay, I'm not so sure if attorney Mauricio Dumogan is an attorney, or if attorney Dumogan became the mayor of Baguio City, because that particular situation was the one who pushed him to do better. Okay, aside from because they're poor, of course, uh, having a degree is like the ultimate and the best way for you to come out of poverty here in the Philippines. Aside from that, it opened his eyes that he needs to do better. He needs to improve himself more. And that catapulted him into becoming the leader that we know today. So that pain that he experienced from that situation, okay, it's made him into something, right? Okay. So pain is a part of growth. Again, like I said, as reiterated by the Chinese yin yang philosophy, they had it to a T. Okay. The balance of negative and positive, okay, in our life, okay, it's gonna make us. So I think it's better for us parents or as the generations leading this young generations to like help them or lead them into understanding that not everything negative is bad, that we have to eliminate it. Okay? That we have to teach them that living in this world will encounter more pain and frustrations and problems than that of comfort. Okay. Of course, comfort is there to help us rest. Then here comes more of the negative to help us move on and grow and improve ourselves. So if we can teach this young generation to view those things as a learning opportunity, as an opportunity to learn, as an opportunity to grow, then I think we can build a stronger generations that can build also a better world. You know? Giving all the comfort to the world to this younger generation will lead us to doom. I believe that. We're not equipping them. We're not giving them the proper tools for them to handle the responsibility of being the next guardians of this earth or the next caretaker of this world. So I think it's very important for us to help this generation understand that pain is part of growing. And it's an opportunity to learn and to evaluate yourself on how or where we are in the stage of life. Yeah. Right. Um, just imagine the training of, I don't know, but if this is a good example again, just let's put it in the context of becoming a warrior, wherein you will undergo difficult trainings. Whether you're a boxer, you're a fighter, MMA fighter, or you just say a soldier, those those trainings are preparing you so that you will not, okay, die or you will not lose immediately on the final stage in on the battle, right? So victory, okay, victory in any aspect of life is attained, okay, through pain, through pain. Got to go through the pain, through the hardship, through the troubles before we can attain victory. So it's part of growth again. So yeah, that is an important lesson, I guess. I think that we should share to this generation. You know, now if you're someone who's experiencing pain right now, listening to this, and you think that it's not ending, it's always there. It's like you've been experiencing pain your whole life. My advice is just hang in there, and just tell yourself to give up tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, you say, give up tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, give up tomorrow. Just live for the day. Live for the day. Live for the day. Keep going. Keep going. And I promise you, everything is gonna be fine. Okay. We don't know when, but soon everything's gonna be fine. Okay? And again, like I said, pain is part of growing. Okay? And for sure, we'll learn from it. Okay. And life's teaching you something, a valuable lesson that you will need when you get to that stage of victory. That's why just keep holding on. You know, it's part of growing, it's part of this life, it's part of learning, and just keep holding on. Keep the faith. And then again, a very important thing is always have the faith on a deity that you believe. We Christians believe that there's God. Okay, if you're a Christian, yeah, pray to God. That will bring you at least some comfort. Okay, and of course there is some guidance up there that will be given. If you're someone who is a Muslim, then pray to Allah. You know, always have faith to a higher, superior being. You know, and for us Christian, excuse me, excuse me. Oh my God. I know that's rude to some culture. I'm so sorry. And if, just like what I'm saying a while ago, what was I saying? Always have faith to superior being. And first Christian, that's God. And God will guide you through those troubles, through this pain. Again, we cannot eliminate that in our life. It's part of our life. It's part of growing. And for sure, for those who are suffering now, um, for those who are having troubles now in their life, okay, I'm sure that you will learn something from it, or you will create an opportunity through it. Okay, using that trouble, you will be creating an opportunity for you to move on, move higher in this stage of life. I think that's all that I want to share in this episode of El Meister Speaks. Thank you so much for listening to me. And for those fellow immigrants waiting for a the guest, the conversations with guests, kind of a little busy right now, but I'm promising you that we'll be having some guests soon in the future. Okay, and for those listening that are not immigrants, thank you for listening. I'm really trying very hard to do podcast in English here because of you. And thank you so much for listening. And I'll be seeing you again in the next episode. See you guys. Bye bye.